Okay, so look at Call of Duty World at War at 21:9. This is one of the best CODs ever made. In fact, it's one of the best World War II games ever made. It's fantastically gritty, violent, and just plain fun. Anyway, on an ultra-wide support level, it is sadly completely lacking, like quite a lot of its PC support in general. So natively, the game basically just stretches everything to fill a 21:9 screen. To sort this out, whilst there have been a number of alternative methods such as hex edits, nothing works anymore other than the Widescreen Fixer mod. To use this, download it in the link below, launch it, it doesn't need an install, and in the game drop down, select Call of Duty World at War. And now the important bit which most people will overlook, myself included, the default fix is looking at the multiplayer exe. Remember, most COD titles are damned annoying on PC and have separate multiplayer and single player programs. So if you're playing the single player, hit the cog icon next to the game dropdown, and in this, select the game version dropdown and select version 1.6 and version 1.7 single player, then hit save settings and close. This will make the fix switch to single player, and just repeat the process if you want to play multiplayer. Now, just before you go any further, click the Settings tab and check what the hotkey is to activate this mod in game. I made mine Alt plus Multiply, so that it's extremely unlikely I would ever use that combination for anything else. The default Multiply hotkey should be fine for you though. And all you do now is load up the game, and when loaded in, hit the hotkey you set up and everything will instantly jump to the correct aspect ratio. You can hit the hotkey again to return to normal. Really lovely. Just remember, you need to be running Widescreen Fixer whenever you play the game. So once you've done this fix, the gameplay will correctly show off more on the sides of the screen at all moments, both in single and multiplayer. The HUD will shift to the sides of the screen, no longer stretching to do so, and the cutscenes will, if pre-rendered, stretch to fill the screen. However, most are in-game, and these correctly use the entire screen space. Screen effects also stretch to use the entire width, but look fine doing that. The main menu shifts its elements to the sides of the screen correctly too, and this applies to all in-game menus as well. Pop-up information screens in games, such as when checking your objectives in single player. This does feature like an 18:9 black barred image, so the black bars at the top and bottom don't quite reach the edge of the screen, but it works fine. You will also find that things just shift a bit further to the left than to the right on occasion, like the scoreboard in multiplayer, but again, it's not exactly an issue. Now, another big problem with the game is the lack of an FOV slider, a complete nightmare as the native one is just too low, and being a first-person game, you always need such customization. Luckily for zombies, it's an easy fix. Just enable the console in the game menu and hit the tilde key, the one on the left of the number 1 on your keyboard, and type into the command box CG_FOV90 or whatever FOV level you want. 90 suited me perfectly. This should work for online as well, but now online is so modded, it seems FOV changes have been limited on servers, which is frustrating. Now, the biggest issue is the campaign FOV, as this can't be done right away using the easy CG_FOV fix. For some reason this is locked, and you actually have to put in another command first before the FOV command can be put in. So you have to type in devmap_mac, then type in the FOV change command. What this devmap command is doing is essentially having you play an unlocked campaign level, which gives you the freedom to change FOV levels. Now the issue is you have to type in devmap followed by the level short name that you want to play, i.e. the first level in the game is called Mackin Atoll, so to play the unlocked version of this I have to type in devmap_mac, and the game now instantly loads from the start of that level. Once I'm in game, I can then use the console and type the FOV fix in and off you go. When you get to the next mission, you need to retype devmap followed by the short name of that next mission, and it will start that mission from the start, and so on and so forth. It sounds confusing and long, but I promise it actually isn't. What I'll do in the description is list every level in the game, so just copy the relevant map text into the console, hit enter, and you'll be able to play right away. Don't worry about trying to find the level names or whatnot. Now, after doing the FOV fix, you will notice at higher FOV levels that some weapon reload animations are broken at the bottom of the screen. Like reloading a pistol, the mag freezes at the bottom whilst the animation takes place. But again, it's hardly an issue. Once you've done all of these fixes, the game will run perfectly at 21:9. The last issue the game has is a lack of native controller support. Well, technically there is basic controller support, but number one, it has to be enabled by, you guessed it, another console input. Details for that activation in the description. This will allow your controller to be used in gameplay, but two issues limit controller use. Firstly, there is no sensitivity slider, so you're stuck at one quite slow level, which is the deal breaker for me. The other issue is you can't navigate menus with a controller. You have to lean forward and use the mouse and keyboard, which is an effort. Now, I know people will be like, why would you want to use a controller anyway? Well, because I love using one. Simple. It's a PC. You should have the choice of how you play. Performance-wise, the game runs well. It's old now, so you should have little issue powering it, and there are a decent number of graphics settings to tweak with. Regardless though, the game still looks great for its age. Like I said, this game is a true classic for me. It's a brilliantly fun experience that was a fantastic follow-up to Modern Warfare. Playing as the Russians in Europe or Americans in Japan, you truly felt the fierceness of battle, the horror of fighting the fearless Japanese who would set trap after trap. And all in all, it feels very much like a game version of the miniseries The Pacific, a brilliant show. The game also has a lot of stuff to do in it. You have the campaign, which, unlike the later games, is actually a ton of fun. Co-op is also integrated into this as well, which is amazing, but sadly there's no split screen support. There is of course multiplayer, but none of that split screen 4-player stuff which the consoles get. But the big one of course was the surprise of Nazi zombies, and in this, something that none of the other games managed to convey, there is a real horror element to the gameplay. World at War Nazi Zombies actually had a horror theme that for whatever reason was not present in following versions, and this is a shame because it worked so fantastically. Now undeniably, and it's most visible in Zombies due to the sheer number of zombies, the movement and general feel of the game is old. It's a little bit on the clunkier side. For example, in Zombies, you would find yourself hit at times when you would have felt they shouldn't have been able to hit you, and this was certainly fixed in later iterations of CODs, but yeah, it's a small point. It's certainly not an extremely clunky game, it's just that at times in Zombies, you'll be downed sometimes unfairly. What I loved, and I know most people loved, was the gore mechanics in this. The ability to blow off limbs with grenades or just guns, and it was so much fun. That sounds really weird to say. But this is a big thing I've wanted to return for the COD multiplayer games for ages, and it just never has. Music, notably for the campaign, is really well written. It's hard and fast, totally emotive of what is occurring on screen, getting your heart racing as the shells rain down and machine guns fire all around you with fire pouring from flamethrowers across the map. Finally, like I said, the game supports mods. Treyarch released the modding tools for this, so people have made a massive roster of mods to choose from. A good example of the modding choices, I know that there is a way to get the game running in split screen, but I haven't personally tried it recently, and I remember trying it a few years ago and having no luck. But the ability for such things is there. Unfortunately too, because multiplayer is so modded, you're unlikely to ever be able to play the game like normal ever again. Anyway, I'm going to give this game a WideAsFcuk score of 3. Once the mods have been implemented, things look great. The FOV fix is just an effort. I totally love this game, and I would say if you love World War II games, then you need to play this. It's one of the best available. So I hope that gives you some information on how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful and subscribe for future info. For any other games at 21:9, head over to my channel or the WideAsFcuk website. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to support the channel, links to my Patreon page are in the description and Amazon affiliate links are there too. See you later.
Great. Miller, we hit any resistance on the beach? You get on that radio and call for immediate missile support.
Don't think twice.
Roma, I want you up the beach and at that tree line ASAP. You're on point as we move inland on it.
What the hell? Is that one of ours? Fuck. East Ridge. There's a 200mm on the point.
Stay with it, Marine.
Number OBT's been hit!
Everyone, keep your heads down. You hear me?
20 seconds!
Hang in there, kid.
We need to get off this thing!
Driver, drop the rail. I've got to accelerate on this anytime.
It's the coral! We're stuck on the...
Drive!
Who took these guys out?
Radio command. Find out if another unit came in ahead of us.
Ambush!
Move! Move!
Stay sharp.
Poor bastard must have been shot down this morning.
Fuselage is still smoking. Check for survivors.
It's all snarled up on something. Shit! Grenade!
Trap our deck.
Carve a path through!
The Red Army's advance into Germany is swift and